Welcome. We're at Dick Johnson Racing. Now, car collectors, we got a special car for you. The Scott McLaughlin GT Mustang. It's a very, very, very special car, and we've got Dick Johnson to share a bit more detail. So, welcome Dick, and thanks for your time, and an exciting time to discuss or have a chat about the Scotty McLaughlin inspired Mustang. And that was a work on a collaboration with you and Robbie Herrod for Guru Tuner.
It was, yes.
A relationship that you've had with Robbie for a long, long time.
Yeah. And with Scotty, Scotty had a bit of input into that too. So
yeah, well, okay. So he was part of the think tank to design the car?
Yeah.
And I guess I was going to start out by just taking you back to the early days of Scotty McLaughlin. You'd have been on pit lane wall, watching this young kid hustle around. What were your thoughts in the early days of Scotty?
Look, Scotty is very, very focused and had an ambition. A lot of people have ambitions, but they don't have the pathway to get there. But he had this ambition, and he's achieved every bit of it so far.
But from an outsider, he always looked very balanced and very calm and very, not difficult, if that makes sense, from the public profile.
Absolutely.
He had a nice way about him. He had a big smile.
Yep.
He was engaging. He'd nod. He'd acknowledge people. He didn't have this, behaviour that some say.
No, he didn't have he's certainly not an I am or anything like that. Let me tell you, he focused on his racing, and in doing so, he was very successful at it. But it's not any one thing that sort of makes it right. It's a team effort, and he was very much a team player.
Yep. And of course, you've obviously spotted him as a young fella and went, I reckon we could have a pathway here for this young fella.
Oh, it was pretty obvious the talent he had, and we just had to nurture that and get the most out of it.
Yeah. And he was, and I guess history will always show how right you were.
Oh yeah.
We look at the championships, we look at the Bathurst wins, we look at the fastest lap time, we look now, stand back and go, and there he is. And of course, not only did you think he was okay, bloke by the name of Roger Penske shared with you.
Yep,
and
he
said,
certainly did.
Come with me.
We need that young guy, and they've now taken him over to the US, and he's doing extremely well over there too, in a very, very tough competition.
It's arguably one of the world's toughest competitions.
Absolutely.
And it's there, up there or thereabouts constantly.
Full on. It's full on the whole time.
Yeah, and I guess in some way you must feel proud.
Oh, very proud. It was an absolute pleasure having him part of our team, because it really brought our team back to life, where we'd sort of been through ups and downs over a number of years, and this really brought things back to square one.
Yeah, and there was some chatter in the last few years about him trying to get his calendar sorted so as he had if he had an opportunity to come back and have a run again at Bathurst.
Yeah, he would, mate, but no, I don't think that's going to be in any time soon, because he's so busy over doing what he does over there now. Yeah. It's just out of control.
Yeah, wow, that's so good. So back to the car. So this is effectively a tribute to Scotty McLaughlin's achievements, and it's not necessarily ended because his record continues to build. But at the time you said it was you and Robbie and Scotty had some input into this. What he wanted.
Something special, so he could be remembered of being part of our team and part of the Mustang family.
Yeah, wow. So Dick, if I can, the conversation, everything around your world and DJR is synonymous to build number or the race number 17. So take us back and tell us how that came about.
Look, I'm going back when I first started in the very early days of my career, and I was preparing and doing another guy's car by the name of Graham Littlemore, and he worked for British Leyland, and he raced a Mini, and the reason why we tried, his number was 71, right? And the reason why I ended up with 17 is because you had to register the number you wanted, and I either wanted to get number 70 or 72, but they weren't available. So I said to him, well, I'll tell you what, why don't we just turn it around the other way? You can be 71 and I'll be 17. And that's where it all came from, going back in the 60s.
Yeah, wow. And it's stuck, and here we are in
Well, we've done everything on number 17. I've been on all the championships we won and that, so that's fine by me. And Bathurst, yeah.
Wow, it's impressive. And of course, Scotty
continued on the legacy, yeah.
Legacy, wow. You must be very proud to look back.
Absolutely, it's been a hell of a journey, mate.
You've had the highs. You've had.
Oh yeah, mate. I've always tried to make positives out of negatives, and I've been reasonably successful at that so far.
Yeah, no, you've done an incredible job, and of course, there's that argument. You know, when people say Ford, they think of you as the Ford guy, and you know, rightly so, given your work and the legacy that you created.
Well, I'm a very loyal person.
I know that very well. Yeah. And in terms of again, critical, I think the big appeal, just build number.
It's build number 17.
And which just happened to be not only your race number, but Scotty's race numbers.
And there's only one number 17.
Correct. And that's right here.
That's it.
And there is an opportunity for, I say, maybe a collector.
Yes,
or
absolutely.
Maybe just a car enthusiast. But to have a piece of iconic history, collaboration between you and Dick and Scotty, in a Scotty McLaughlin limited edition Mustang is pretty special.
Well, it's an everyday car. If you want to have it as an everyday car, that'll be fine.
Happy to send Julie down the street shopping in it.
No trouble at all. And she can drive it, no trouble.
Yeah, fantastic. Mate, again, thank you for the opportunity to come and share your experience in the background of the car. But I think the significance, it is very special. Scotty McLaughlin is unquestionably a very, very talented young driver, and the limited experience exposure I had, the nicest chap on the planet, just decent.
And certainly making a name for himself on the world stage.
He's big time doing that, Mike.
I'm
sure you, every time you see him on the podium, you must have a little moment of pride.
Oh, we're in touch quite often, so, you know, because he respects the team and, you know, what he achieved here and the opportunities that we gave him, and he made the most of every one of them.
Yeah, and still going, kicking goals from everywhere.
Absolutely, and we'll continue to do so.
Well done, mate. Thank you.
My pleasure.
And more details to follow about the car. Thank you.
Cheers, mate.
Well, folks, we've had our time with Dick Johnson. We're now fortunate enough to bring Rob Herrod to the table, Rob, and you could probably give us, or you would give us a background about the car technically.
Yeah, well, look, myself and Ryan Story sat round one day at DJR with knowing Scott was going to go overseas, and we thought, what a great way to celebrate Scott's championship, come whatever. And we'd spoken about it for a while, about doing a McLaughlin car. And then when we got wind that Scott might be going, I put my thinking cap on and whatever, and we spoke with Scott. Scott was all about it.
Yep.
And I sort of come up with a plan that I thought we could build. We don't want to build like the DJR or Dick Johnson number 17 limited edition. It was a very, very expensive car. Let's try and make a car. They were only 30 cars. Let's do 50 cars for Australia, 30 for New Zealand, and come up with a plan on a car that would sell 80 cars.
Yep.
And, you know, a lot of the things that were in the Dick Johnson limited edition, that was a one-off build.
Yep.
Most expensive car I've ever built.
Yep.
This was to be more realistically priced, where we used the Whipple supercharger, colour-coded. The red car had a red suit. They all had red superchargers on those to match the Shell brand.
Yep.
So we're all very, you know, Pro Shell and Shell Helix Ultra. A little plug there for Shell. But that's what we're running all our engines, is Shell and Shell V-Power. But the thing was, the red supercharger was represent Shell on that side of it there, and the colours of the Shell V-Power racing team, who Scott drove for. Same deal, we done different stitching in the seats to match bits and pieces, and just a beautiful car. You know, I think it was like 650 horsepower or something. That's
supercar numbers.
Yeah, it was, and they're very, very fast cars. Some were manual, some were auto. You know, we never fitted the big brakes like the Dick Johnson limited edition, because that was, you know, $10,000 or $15,000 extra. But we had special grills for them. We had special front lips for them, special rear spoiler, special badging. Same. That never had puddle lamps, but it had McLaughlin steel panel things when you open the door up. And those cars just sold out. Like, as soon as we launched them, they were sold.
Yep. Short shifter, if I recall. Nice steering.
Yeah, the steering wheel, the tan leather interior, the badging, so forth, mats, carpet mats. We even do like car covers from the Dick Johnson Limited Edition. It's the same in the McLaughlin. We make a car cover that matches with all the logos on the thing there. But just a really, really nice car.
Big tyres again.
Same size wheel and tyre.
Yep.
It was the same size, same wheel and tyres used on the Dick Johnson Limited Edition, but it was a different colour. The wheels were black.
Yep.
So the wheel fits per. We had those wheels specifically made, so the offset's right, the poke's right. Again, Michelin 4S tyres, best tyre you can buy. You know, I believe so.
Yep.
Our exhaust system, but instead of like on the Dick Johnson Limited, it had a 3-inch exhaust for the extra power. It's got a 2.5-inch exhaust because it had to. We actually put them through as a second stage vehicle manufacture, so it's all emissions approved, sound approved, wheel approved. It's
ADR compliant.
It's full. No, it's a full deal. That the car was registered brand new with all that gear on it,
which is important down the line.
Yeah, which is called a Herrod Performance pack with the Department of Infrastructure. So, yeah, really good thing. There was some options available. We did do, I think, on the number 17 car, we done a red roll cage for it with harnesses and a rear seat delete and fire extinguisher, so forth. Because the owner who owned it, he was thinking about tracking it, but I think once he got it, he realised that hey, he's got the number 17.
They don't
better
get
look after it.
More special. That's not only Dick number, but it's also Scotty's
number.
McLaughlin
number. Yeah, exactly.
And a pretty good think tank. You yourself, Dick, and Scotty. So all top of their game.
Yeah. Like it's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
It's very, very exciting for me. Like being a Ford lover and knowing. I learned so much on the R-Spec program with Ford. Like I never think I know everything, but when I went and built that 500 car, I had about 200 people working with me on the team. I learned so much about OE. And now every Herrod car you build, there is some DNA coming out from what Rob Herrod learnt doing that 500 car R-Spec program.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, and I guess all I can say is, as a Ford lover, congratulations for your role, and you had a very
appreciate it.
Important role in this to make it all happen.
Yeah,
bring it together.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thanks.
Also included in the package is a huge bonus: the actual race suit that Scotty McLaughlin wore to win the 2020 Supercar Championship. This special inclusion adds extra value to this very unique car.
Welcome Hamilton. Hamilton Urquhart from Unique Motoring Events is in our Australian Muscle Car showroom in Sydney, and we are very proud at Australian Muscle Cars to be representing two very, very special cars. They are special edition Mustangs that were one which is one of 30, and interestingly number 17, the Dick Johnson number, the famous number made famous by Dick Johnson. It's the number 17 Mustang Special Edition Mustang, and that one is a brand new car. Zero speeder. And the other car is the Scott McLaughlin Mustang, again a limited edition car, and again number 17. And this one again, 0 kilometres. So correct. We're looking forward to marketing those cars for you and for the owner.
Correct. And thanks, Mike. And it's a pleasure to be back here again with you at Australian Muscle Car Sales. And I've worked with Dick on this and Robbie Herrod, and both very much part, and Scotty McLaughlin. So it's a bit of a collaboration, if you like.
Yeah.
And then the conversation was, where do we go to market? I go, in my mind, there's only one place to go. Australian Muscle Car Sales. And I said to Dick, you remember your GTF car we sold? I guess who sold that? Mike. And it was a little while ago, but we've had a long relationship, nearly 2 decades now. And I said, in my mind, there's only one place to go, and want to bring both of those cars here.
You've got a lot more hair, and I've got a lot less hair.
I've probably got, well, in that time, yes, I've got more. I've still got the hair, thank you, and that's, some would say that's the trademark. But look, we've been around the car business a long, long time, and we met. I can remember the day we met. There you go. I remember the day we met. But these are very special cars, and I spent a couple of days on the Gold Coast with Dick. and we went through the cars and understanding in the case of Scotty's car, Scotty having involvement in that car. And look, there's no question, and you know, you deal with car collectors. In the Ford world, and I spent my time in the FPV world, when Ford did a limited edition, the car that everybody wanted as a dealer was number 17 and number 18. And I can't tell anyone how this happened, but I often got most of them. I got them most of the time because I had a relationship, as you know, with John Dow and with Dick Johnson. But they were the premium cars. Everybody wanted 17 and 18. And I was fortunate enough to be able to do that. So when we look back today, the 17 car is very, very, very special.
Yeah, and these will be offered in one line or separately.
Yeah.
So you can buy the two, which would be an amazing collection to add to your amazing Mustang or Ford collection, or you can buy them separately.
Yeah, and the thing I think we should probably point out too, in the Scotty McLaughlin car, that comes with Scotty McLaughlin's race suit, the race suit that Scotty wore in 2019, and he won 13 races in that season, and of course won the championship. And of course you look to Scotty in the US, and I don't think even the worst punter would realise that he's a big chance to win any job. He's not too far away, and I can only say he does that, and the value of the car will increase. In the case of the Dick Johnson car, it's 1 of 30. Both cars are manual, and prior to our conversation here is a detailed account of both cars by Robbie Herrod, and Robbie was obviously the builder of those cars, and an intimate knowledge of what went into those cars. So, and so, you know, I'm really happy to be working with you because I'm pretty clear about the process and the opportunities out there in the market, and I think that you guys do the best job. Game over.
Thank you.
Well done.
Very good.
There you have it, folks. You can't quite own the Scotty McLaughlin race car, but you can own the Scotty McLaughlin limited edition Mustang. So this is the closest thing you can get to a V8 supercar on the road. If you're interested, click the link.